Good morning, students. How are you all, children? Yes, all are fine, isn't it? Yes, good. I hope all are fine. So, welcoming to the next video class, children. So, already we had completed some of this general topic about this biobotany and botany syllabus, isn't it? Yes. The last class we had completed one topic. Do you remember that, children? Say yes or no? Yes, good. So this is the accessory organ. Clear? The accessory organ means, so there comes under in two types. Clear? What are the two types, ma? Very good. So one is calyx whorl and another one is corolla whorl. Clear? So these are the two organs are they considering in a non-essential word. So you have to be tell about this. The term is the accessory organs. Clear? Yes. So the last class we had completed the first part of this accessory organ, calyx whorl. Clear? Then today we are moving, that is the next word, children, corolla. Just before I am asking some of this question. So all should open your mouth and answer it. Okay? Yes. First one, what is that? What are the three types of corolla? Yes. Fusion of corolla, duration of corolla, yes, shape of corolla, isn't it? The first one, fusion means how to joining of this calyx, isn't it? Then how was the nature to presence of this calyx? That based, they are categorized into two. What are the two terms, children? Very good. One is aposepalous and another one is syncephalous. Clear? Yes, very good. The next one, you learn about, that is the duration of this calyx. I mean whether it is that's a calyx's presence in the fruit part or that's a flowering part, how long they present. So these are the things related, they are categorized in the duration, isn't it? Do you remember the type, children? Caducous, deciduous, persistent, acrescent type. Are you remember that? Can you repeat this? Yes, very good. Good. First one, caducous, deciduous type. Good. The next one, persistent type and acrescent. Clear? Yes, good. Then last we had learned that shapes of corolla, isn't it? So different shapes available in that depend upon the species to species, the varying of this calyx structures, the calyx shape, isn't it? So what like nature of the calyx is present, what shape is present, that regarding they are giving in some of the technical terms of this taxonomy, isn't it, children? So that's the things only learned. Just I am going to ask that one question, children. What does mean by, what is the technical term is used, which shape of this calyx? Campanulate. Campanulate. Yes, very good. Try to tell, children. Bell shape of this corolla. Clear? Then, which species pappus condition of this calyx is present? Pappus calyx. Pappus means you know that hair-like appearance, isn't it? The which one is the which specimen or which species is present, that is the pappus condition of this calyx. Good. Hair-like nature of the pappus condition. Tridux procumbens. Understood, ma? Yes. So then some of them tube-like nature is there. So the tube-like nature means, so that is we are called as the shape is known as tubular calyx, isn't it? Mostly we can clearly see that's a daturametal species. So that one. Understood, ma? Yes. So these are the things learned that previous class. Clear? Today's class we are going to learn about, there is a second accessory organ. So the secondary non-essential whorl, corolla. Clear, children? Yes. First I am asking that one question. What do you mean by corolla? What do you mean by corolla? What's mean by corolla? Very good. Very attractive part of the flower. That part is we are called as the name is known as corolla. Clear? The individual unit of the corolla is we are called as the name is known as petals. Clear? So the individual unit of the corolla is called as the name is known as petal. Then what purpose the corolla is functioning or the corolla is using means or helping means. First one, so this one is attracting for this some of this insect. For that's a pollination purpose. Okay, what is the use of this corolla, children? So this is very attractive colors, isn't it? So that's why this one is the attracting for this insect for that's a pollination purpose. Understood, ma? So that is the major function or this is the corolla is using for this or helping in a pollination function. Understood? So this is the major functions of corolla. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no? Yes. Good. Very good. So the next one we are going to learn about that, sir. What is the fusion of this corolla? Already we had completed the calyx, how the fusion of this calyx region. That the same one only repeated in this corolla regions also. Okay. The fusion of corolla. Clear? This is the fusion of corolla. Already we had completed into the calyx how fusion is there or how fusion, what are the types of the fusion or what are the arrangement of the calyx is present. The same manner only repeated in the corolla part also. Clear, children? Yes. So here also we are substituting in a two terms, children. One is apopetalis and another one is sympetalis. What are the two terms, children? The fusion based on the corolla. So we have using in a two technical terms. The taxonomically they are giving in a two terms, children. One is sympetalis and another one is apopetalis. Apopetalis means, so just you related to that previous one, children, the calyx. Aposepalus, what is that meaning? Sepals are free in condition. Sepals are distinct form, isn't it? So here also the same meaning. The petals are free in forms. Okay. The petals are free conditions means, so that is we are called as the petals are free. Okay. The petals are free conditions means, so that is we are called as the name is known as. Very good. So that is a polypetalis or another one term is used, apopetalis. Clear, children? Sympetalis or gamopetalis. Gamo, that's mean by united. Okay, jointed. The petals are united forms means, so that is the petals are united forms. Isn't it? The petals are united forms. So that's the petals are united forms. So that is we are called as the name is known as, what is that? Sympetalis or gamopetalis. Understood, ma'am? So here that's a good example of the species apopetalis. So that is the good example of the species is this one, hibiscus. You know this. Clear? Yes. The next one, sympetalis. So that is the species name is Datura. Datura, already I said that the specimen name is Datura metallumathe. Okay. So that's the same on varieties. So this one, the gamopetalis arrangement. The petals are united form. Clear? So this is I didn't get that is that specimen, children. So that's why I showed that is the one of the ornamental flower. So this is also same like manner of this gamopetalis arrangements. So that's the petals are united forms. Okay. So this is the gamopetalis arrangements. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no, children? Yes. Very good. The next one we are going to move. This is the perianth. What do you mean by perianth? What does mean by perianth? Perianth means, you know that is the term, children, cannot be differentiated calyx and corolla part. That together they present in a one structure. Okay, that's we are called as the name is known as perianth. cannot be differentiating the calyx part and corolla part. That is we are called as the name is known as perianth. The perianth individual unit is we are called as the name is known as tepal. What is that? Tepal. So regarding that, okay, that's a perianth. That regarding, already I said, there's an individual unit is called as the name is known as tepal. Don't forget these are the terms. Okay, children, will you repeat this? The sepal individual unit, calyx, the individual unit is called sepal. Clear? Corolla individual unit is called petal. Perianth individual unit is called tepal. Clear, children? So all should keep it in your mind. Don't forget. Okay? So this also, there is a fusion forms. This perianth also, the tepals, individual unit of this perianth, that's a tepal. That also arrangement, that's a fusion based. So that is, they comes under in two terms. One is apophilous and another one is gamophilous. Okay? So already we said no. So that's a based only. We are learning that one. So that is a apotepalous and another one is syntepalous. Polyphilous and tell about that's a gamophilous. You know that is the term is polyphilous means the tepals are free in conditions. Clear? Then gamophilous means the perianth, that's a tepal is, they are comes under in a united form. Okay, children? So this is the fusion. This is the arrangements they presents in the perianth. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no? Yes. So that is they are using in a, they quoted in a certain examples of the species. Okay. First one, the polyphilous condition, or there is the apotepalous. That condition, that's one of the good examples. Allium sativum. That's a binomial name for garlic. Clear? So all should keep it in your mind. Okay? What is the name for binomial name for garlic? Very good. Allium sativum. Clear? Yes. Next one, syntepalous. So there, that's another one term is known as gamophilous. So that is a good example as Allium cepa. Onion, that's a binomial name is known as Allium cepa. Understood, ma'am? Will you able to follow? Say yes or no? Yes. So here you learn about that is a two commonly we are using in our houses, that specimen, isn't it? So just you, by God, this is the binomial name for garlic and onion. Can you repeat this? Yes, good. What's the binomial name for onion? Very good. Allium cepa. Clear? What is the binomial name for garlic? Allium sativum. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no, da? Yes. Very good, children. Next one, we are moving in, that is the next topic, estivations. Okay. What do you mean by estivation? So all of you listen the term clearly. Okay. Very one of this important definition here. What do you mean by estivation means? The arrangement of the sepal or petal in a flower bud condition is known as estivation. That term is we are studying in that estivation. Understood, ma'am? What do you mean by estivation, children? Yes, very good. The arrangement of the sepal or petal. Okay, the two terms we are using. Sepal or petals in a flower bud condition is known as, we are calling the term is known as estivations. Understood, ma'am? Estivations. Okay. So this estivation is, they are giving in a 4 types. Okay. This estivation is, they comes under in a some types. The first one, valvate estivation, twisted estivation, imbricate estivation, quincuncial estivation and vexillary estivation. What are the subtypes of estivation, children? Can you repeat this? Very good. First one is valvate estivation, imbricate estivation, twisted estivation, quincuncial estivation. The last one is vexillary estivation. Clear? So these are the some subtypes of estivations. Okay, let us learn that one by one. Very, very important terms for estivation, children. Already I said what do you mean by estivation. Okay, then let us learn that one by one. That is the type representing of this estivation. So first one, valvate estivation means, all of you listen, children. Either that is a sepal or petal. Okay, so the sepal or petal without overlapping. Okay, without that overlapping. So I mean the edges are touched to one another. So this like, okay, so that is we are called as, the name is known as valvate estivation. So all of you look at this diagram, this one. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation, the floral diagram. If you want to draw the floral diagram, means we are representing the floral part as this like only. Okay. So here they are mentioning this is either calyx or corolla. They are mentioning this like structures still, right? So this one, so just you consider it either sepal or petal. Okay. So the each margin, either petal or sepal, each margin is touched to one another. Understood, ma'am? So without that's the overlapping. Okay, this is the good examples for. Okay, this is the good examples of calyx of Malvaceae members. That calyx, I mean, so that's the Malvaceae members means. So this is the one of the good example of hibiscus. Okay, so this is the calyx part. So just not overlapping. This is the calyx part. So this is the calyx, isn't it? Not overlapping, children. Just so this is the touching to one another. Okay. So that's the one end is touched to another one. Clear, children? So this is the valvate estivation. That's good one. Examples of that one. And also here they are giving in a certain specimens of Calotropis. Calotropis, we know that Eric. Clear? Then Annona, the last class I showed the specimens. Annona squamata. See, so we are telling in the Sitapal, isn't it? Yes. So that's the specimens I showed that last class, children. You remember that one, isn't it? Yes. Next one, the second type is twisted estivations. Okay. So twisted estivation. So all of you listen now. The twisted estivation means, so here that's a sepal or petal. Clear? Sepal or petal. One margin is overlapping to the next one. Either the sepal or petal. That's a one margin is overlapping to the next one. Say this is the diagram. So here, this is the one margin, isn't it? So this one overlaps to that next one. So the next one. So this one is overlapped to this second one. Then here the next petal or sepal, so this one overlap to the next one. Okay. So this like, so that's the second type is the twisted ones means, so just this like overlapping this one. Just one petal or sepal, they overlap to that next chain. Clear? Then next again you have to become mixed, so this one. Okay. So this like arrangement is comes to that presence of this either sepal part or petal part. So that is we are called as the estivation type is known as twisted estivation. Are you understood? Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Next one we are going to learn about that. Next type is imbricate estivation. So the third type is imbricate estivation. So all should listen carefully, children. This one here. First one, suppose if we are looking that's a flower, 5 sepal or petal is there means one petal is completely, one petal means 2 margin is there, one side and this side, isn't it? So just you look this, so this is the one flower petal, isn't it? 2 margins means, so this one margin, this one margin. Understood? So listen, first one, the one petal is completely the presence in outside. Clear? Then the next petal is, I mean one petal. So first here the presence, just imagine or 5 petal is there means one petal is completely exterior and one petal is completely interior. Clear? Remaining, that's the 3 petals are they arranging in a one is in and out. One is in and out. That's the arrangement is presents that is we are called as the name is known as what is that type children? Imbricate estivation. So all of you listen this one. Just I will show this is the arrangements. So this is the one petal, isn't it? They completely outside. Understood? Then next you look this one. So the second petal is completely interior. Understood? So this like only. Just you imagine. So here also listen this. Look at this diagram. The third one. Okay. Here all of you listen. One petal or sepal. Both the margin. This is the one margin. Then this one is the next margin. Both the margin. I mean completely exterior. Here all should see this is the petal. Both the margins are completely interior. Understood, ma'am? Then remaining the 3 either petal or sepal, they come in. One is in and one is interior and another one is outside. Okay. So this like arrangements means. So that is we are called as the name is known as imbricate estivation. Understood? From this imbricate estivation only, they comes under in the next 2 types, children. The next 2 types means queen quintial and another one is vexillary arrangements. Okay. This queen quintial means, all of you listen. So there also, suppose the 5 petals are there, 5 petal, either petal or sepal. Okay. This petal or sepals means, first one, the 2 petals are completely interior position, okay, inside direction, and 2 either petal or sepal is completely exterior direction, and remaining that's one only, they come in, one margin is interior and other margin is exterior. Understood, ma'am? So that's the type is we are called as the name is known as, what is that name? Queen quintial. So this one is, they comes from that is the previous one type of this imbricate estivation. From this imbricated estivation only, they denoted in that is the last 2 type. One is queen quintial and another one is vexillary type of estivation. Are you understood, children? Have you got it one idea? Yes, good. Okay, yes. Next one, the last type is the vexillary type. Vexillary type means, all of you listen now. First one, the posterior position. Okay, so just you see, this is the posterior position. Okay, the posterior position, there is one of this large, that's a petal is there. Okay, this one. So there is a large one of this petal is there. Okay, the large petal are sepal. Okay, this one is overlapping to the lateral petals. Lateral means, so here there one is there, here there is one is there. Okay, this large posterior petal or tepal, clear? This one is overlapping to the lateral position of this sepal or petal. Understood? This lateral position of this sepal or petal, that one end is they cover or overlapping to the anterior position of this sepal or petal. This is the anterior position one. This is the posterior position one. This is lateral tepals. The first one, vexillary type means first one their presence in one of the large posterior petal. Okay, this one overlapping to the lateral petals. Lateral means that sideways only they present. These lateral petals again they overlaps to there is an anterior position of this petal or sepal. Understood, pa? So this is we are called as the last type of this estivation is the vexillary type. All should look this diagram, children. So this is a very good large posterior tepal. These large posterior tepal, both the margins, okay, this one margin, this is the another one margin. So that one they overlapping to the lateral petals. Clear? This lateral petals, that one they overlap to the anterior position of this petal or sepal. Understood pa? So this is the explanation. So this is a very important the arrangement of the estivation. They presents in either sepal or petal. Understood pa? Once again I will repeat this. So what does the type of estivation means? So there comes under in a valvate estivation, twisted estivation, imbricate estivation. The imbricate only they comes under two, quintial estivation, and the last one is vexillary estivation. This is very important, children. So also don't forget, please keep it in your mind. Okay, thank you very much, students.